Hey, good morning. Excuse me. Good morning, everybody. This is Coach Bill with Fat Loss Made Easy. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday morning. And yes, it is early. Matter of fact, it's so early that it's still dark outside. But I wanted to get on today and give you guys, I told you yesterday, if you guys saw my video yesterday on doing my 36-hour fasting. Just to recap real quick, what I'm doing is Emily and I do alternate day fasting. We've got a protocol or a program that works very well for us. Not only does it help with slowing down premature aging, but it also helps us seniors to add more lean muscle and burn body fat at the same time. And it works very well for us, very flexible. Our program, we have non-fasting days, which is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we have our fasting days, which is Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is we do 24-hour fastings most of the time, all the time actually. And then on Saturdays, it's usually a 20-hour fast, or we may go 24 hours. It depends how we, what we're doing, or if we feel like eating or not. If I'm not hungry, I'm not going to eat. But anyway, that's the program that we're following. We've been following this for a while now. We've both been fat adapted for, a couple years now. So it's very easy for us to maintain our lean muscle and add lean muscle and keep our body fat very lean. But I found some new research that talked a lot about doing a 36-hour fast, alternate day fasting, and doing 36-hour fast a couple times a week. And so when I read the research on it, it really intrigued me to actually escalate slowing premature aging down, elevating muscle building hormones like your growth hormones and your testosterone, which is in seniors or those of you that are 40 plus, is a big issue as you age. And so I wanted to look into this a little more for ourselves and to see how it affects us as seniors. So I'm doing this for a week. Now, if I feel okay, I may go 2 weeks. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, I did my first 36 hours yesterday, which was my fasting day. And I did a video yesterday. You can go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry, subscribe to it, or you can go to my Weight Loss Made Easy Solution Facebook group page, view that video, and kind of give you an update of my first 24 hours. Well, my first 24 hours, for those of you that are skeptic about doing intermittent fasting and combining it with a primal meal or keto, and you're worried about hyperglycemia, at first you should be, because you guys who follow me know that you need to be fat adapted first before you jump into intermittent fasting. And you know what fat adapted means. I'm not going to get into that. You can go back and view one of my videos about it. But we're programmed to basically, Emily and I programmed now our energy source mainly comes from our stored body fat. That's where most of our energy comes from, and not so much carbs because we're on a primal meal plan, which means, or like keto, which you guys probably know what it means, is that we eat higher good dietary fats, and so our body has now switched over to actually burning uh, and utilizing more of the fat that we eat in our foods. And when we're doing our intermittent fasting or our prolonged fasting, we are actually going after our stored fat as our primary energy to operate throughout the day. So anyway, on my first 24 hours or 23 in 1 hour, I did it at about 23 hours. My glucose level was above normal when I do a 23 hour. Normally, I'm around low 70s. Last night at 5 o'clock, I was at 81. My level was 81 of my glucose level, which is higher than normal. Now, is that normal? And that is yes, because your body, your blood sugar fluctuates throughout the day because certain parts of your body needs more glucose than other parts, especially the brain. The brain it needs glucose. I think it's 18% of the brain needs glucose. But anyway, so what happened is that when I took my blood sugar reading, that my blood sugar was a little bit higher, is because my body went through a mechanism which to protect itself. When your blood sugar in your starts to drop in your blood and gets to a certain level, the body has a mechanism known as glucogenesis. What that is that's a mechanism to protect the body when it drops to a certain point, blood sugar in the blood, that it actually will go to your own stored fat cells and it will convert the fat into glucose that the brain needs or wherever else it needs to be. You also have stored glucose in your muscles too as a bank account in order if you run low. And so would you think the object is to actually go after your own fat to burn as fuel? Obviously. But remember, for 23 hours, guys, and now those of you that have pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes or a fatty liver, or those of you that are looking to lose that belly fat, just visualize this. So for 23 hours, I had no calories. I mean, I'm doing a true 23-hour fasting, which means no calories, strictly water, sea salt to replace my electrolytes as I'm going through the fasting, because your body will flush out a lot of water and a lot of minerals through the kidneys during your fasting, so you got to replace those consistently. And then I'm also just drinking black coffee with nothing in it. And so I've done a true fast. So visualize this, you guys, like I said, that have diabetes. You're on medication. Your blood sugars are around, I'm just taking a couple of clients of mine, just as an example. They're around 169, 180, 190, and you're taking medication that is supposed to lower your blood sugar, which it has, because normally you're up in the 200s. But yet, you're still in a dangerous zone even on the medication. So you got to be below 100 consistently. That's your healthy zone, okay? So if I'm not eating for 23 straight hours, I'm not bringing in any calories at all, then do you think maybe your blood sugar is going to drop? Absolutely. It will absolutely drop. Might take 2 or 3 days, but it will drop. But what happened with me is because I'm fat adapted, that number, that level of 81, my body went into my fat cells, drew the fat out of those cells, and converted those into glucose to raise up at that particular time when I took it. Now, I could have taken it an hour earlier. It might have been 74. Or I could have taken it 2 hours afterwards and most likely be down to 74. But I didn't. So that was my first 23 hours, and that's on the video I did yesterday. Now, I'm at the end of my 36 hours. Now, like I said, for those of you that are skeptics and that think that intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting is unhealthy, well, you're wrong, because science is already, there's too much science behind these two protocols that actually helps to slow premature aging and elevate growth hormones, like that's what we want to do. But anyway, I'm at the end of my 36-hour fast, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to check my blood sugar right now to see where I'm at. I'm not hungry. I did have a couple of hunger waves yesterday, one around 3 o'clock and one around 6. But how do I drop that issue? Is I have a big glass, 20 ounces of my hydrogen-rich water. I don't drink bottled water. I don't drink tap water. I don't drink store-bought alkaline water because it's all toxic. It's all crap. I have a Magic electrolysis device that sits on my counter, converts my city water into hydrogen-rich water, which has a molecule, a very, very powerful molecule, which is known to boost your immune system and gives you the best antioxidant on the planet. And so I had 20 ounces of hydrogen-rich water with my sea salt in it. So that's how I knock it down. Or I'll put apple cider vinegar with my sea salt. I knock it down. When you get those hunger waves, most of the time it's not because you're hungry. It's because you might be thirsty, or the biggest thing is your electrolytes are actually dropping. Now, remember what I said. When you're doing fasting, especially 23 hours or longer, your kidneys are flushing out water more often, and you're also flushing out minerals at the same time. So you have to replace those minerals throughout the day. And I'll do the Himalayan pink sea salt maybe 3, 4, 5 times a day. But anyway, so at the end of my 36 hours, I'm going to check my blood glucose levels, see where I'm at, and see, if my body is actually doing a glucose genesis, because like I said, I haven't had any calories for 36 hours. I'm actually over 36 hours. I'm at 37 hours. So let's go ahead and check my glucose level. Now, you guys know I like to back everything I do up with science. So here we have, I don't know if you guys have heard me say that documentation will always overrule conversation, right? Well, here's our documentation here. So those of you that are skeptic about intermittent fasting, those of you that think that you're going to pass out and have hyperglycemia, well, because we're fat adapted. See, I'm always referring back to fat adaptation. That's the key factor in being successful, not only in lowering your blood glucose level for those of you that do have diabetes, or those of you that have fatty liver, how to reverse it, or if you just want to do fat or lose that belly. This is how you're going to do it. And no, you're not going to pass out if you go through the protocols first. Like I said, there's protocols. You got to teach your body to actually dip into your own body fat. Your body doesn't do it automatically. You can't just jump into doing this. That's why we have our online personal coaching to help people and guide them through it so they don't become hyperglycemia or have any kind of issues of blood sugars. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get my needle ready. I got my strip ready. So I'm going to go ahead and I should do a different finger probably. Let's do this one here. So I'm going to draw some blood right now. Let me see here if I get... Okay, I did have my glass of water the first thing this morning when I woke up. I had a glass of water, 20 ounces of my hydrogen-rich water, with my apple cider vinegar to start my day off, because my body is, when I woke up this morning, all my organs are basically dehydrated, so I want to make sure that I hydrate them all first thing in the morning. I had no hunger waves at all this morning. I woke up my normal time, full of energy, and was not hungry at all. Okay, here we go. So let's go ahead and see where we're at. There we go. I'll tell you where I'm at. Okay, I'm at 86. 86. What is that telling me? Well, there's your documentation, guys, that I have plenty of glucose in my blood to operate my brain and the organs that need it. And at 86, now in the morning, this just shows how glucose genesis works. In the morning, it's always normal to have a higher glucose level, because your body, when you wake up, and as soon as you start moving in that bed, your body is going to activate glucogenesis, even though you haven't eaten any carbohydrates at all for 36 hours. Your body is going to activate it at that moment, and it's going to draw glucose from either your fat cells, which obviously that's what's happening to me, and whatever glucose I had stored. Now, last night, before around the 23-hour mark, I weighed myself. and I weighed 184. Now, when I first started this alternate day fasting, and I'm doing the Mediterranean style meal plans on my non-fasting days, which I'm getting 3 meals a day. I'm getting plenty of protein. My calories are way up high, and I've introduced more low glycemic starches to my diet and some fruit if I want to. I went from 177 to 184. Okay, if you look at the documentation on my interval strength training, you can see that during that period when I moved into this new program, I had gained some muscle, some lean muscle mass. Now, you guys know I'm going back to that wording I say. Documentation will always overrule conversation. How do I know that I've had lean muscle and I've still lost more body fat? Simple. Because when Emily and I go in the gym, people will come up to us and say, hey, Bill, you guys leaning down? That's your documentation. That's one of the best ways to know that whatever you're doing is working. Because I went from 177 to 184 in maybe 4 or 5 months. So I've added lean muscle, which is heavier than fat. Now, I weighed 184 at 23 hours. Then I weighed myself this morning when I first woke up, went to the bathroom first, weighed myself. I dropped down to 181. Now, was those 3 pounds I lost all body fat? No. A lot of it's water. But there is body fat in there because remember, I did not have any calories for 36 hours and my blood sugar this morning is at 84. I think that's what it said, I think. So that means that my body is working efficiently and it's using that mechanism of glucogenesis to to go after those fat cells. Isn't that what I want? Absolutely. I want to get those love handles off even smaller. I want to get the more fat off my back. So there's the documentation that my body's working properly, and I'm able to do longer fasts without jeopardizing too low a blood sugar. That's when you're fat adapted. That's when you know you are in a healthy environment, and that's when I know that I'm in autophagy. Autophagy is massively benefits as far as growth hormones, slowing premature aging. Now, how do I know I'm in autophagy? It's because I haven't eaten for 36 hours. Nothing, no calories. I haven't had any carbs. Emily and I both just recently did a blood test, and both of our hormones, our growth hormones and our muscle building hormones, and I'm going to do a video on this and actually show you what our numbers are. I'm in the 20-year-old bracket when it comes to testosterone. My estrogen level is way down. Emily is also in a 20-year-old bracket for her testosterone also, because this, guys, that's a major issue right now for those that are 40 plus is imbalanced hormones. Okay, guys? So, guys, this was my first, that was my first day of 36-hour fasting was yesterday. I'll do my second 36-hour fast on Thursday, and I'll do the same thing. I'll do a 23-hour check to my glucose level to see where I'm at. And then the next morning, on Friday morning, I'll also do another one to see where I'm at. And it's going to be different because that's just how the body works. But guys, I'm telling you, those of you that are skeptic or those of you that have had a health professional or a doctor tell you that primal eating or a ketogenic diet, combining it with intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting is not healthy, they're full of crap. Sorry for saying that, but they are. Science is backing this up, and our online personal coaching program is built by science. So that's why it works so well for those of you that have prediabetes or type 2 diabetes or a fatty liver, or for those of you that just want to lose that body fat or belly fat. But no, there are protocols you have to follow first. Okay, so guys, You can go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry, subscribe to it for more videos, or you can go to my Weight Loss Midi Solution group Facebook page, check out the videos and some of my fat burning recipes there. If you want to know more about this hydrogen-rich water that we're drinking, you can go to my email, drinknatureswater@gmail.com. I'll send you some more info about it, or you can also type in your address bar, put in the words 9.5.com, and that'll give you a good idea of the power of hydrogen-rich water for superior hydration. Okay, guys, you guys have a great morning, and we'll see you guys at the next video. Have a great day.